with a new co-host, R Gray 2.
Going on, everybody?
We've been trying to figure this out for the past couple weeks, and it has been a disaster. Just trying to get it all set up.
At least just on my end, like it's been horrible. Still can't figure out how to stream it. Uh,
It's a hassle. And trust me, it's been a hassle trying to do it this way. So this is actually a new format, and we're revamping the Dino Duo podcast, obviously. Um, so our topic today is about the XFL mainly. We're going to talk about a couple other things as well, just kind of bullshit or whatever. But I thought the main thing would be the XFL, mainly because it's actually good.
it's been very surprising. I really like the content they put out. There's actually been good play, and I think there's gonna be a lot of players that go to the NFL next year.
Yeah, like I honestly do too. Not Cardell Jones, but
Damn, you got to shit
I'm
on my team.
sorry. I'm sorry. Cardell Jones is not
No,
good.
you're 100% right. He shows why he's no longer in the NFL.
But
He has definitely shown
I've done
that.
a little bit of research on the XFL, and in 2001 was a very rough year for the beginning of XFL. So I was doing a little bit of research, and I found out that they had 4 weeks to actually like practice before they started their season. So they had only 1 month to get everything together, which that's rough anyway. Um, they tried doing storylines with wrestling involved in it too. They tried to implement wrestling way too much into the XFL in 2001.
Vince McMahon knew how to run one thing at a time. That's what he thought he was gonna be able to do with make professional wrestling into professional football, and obviously it didn't work. It only lasted 1 year.
It was like you said, it was bad. Um, Honestly, in my opinion, I think the XFL now they did it the right way this time. They didn't try to promote it with wrestlers the whole time. They didn't worry about wrestling storylines, and it just to me better football easily. Like
Absolutely, yeah. It's a very good product that they put on the field. The players are playing very well. I mean, it's a lot different than what I thought was going to happen. It's definitely a lot different from the AFL they tried to put out last year. And hell, this week the XFL has already lasted longer than that
yeah,
week, like this fifth week.
fifth week, and we actually I did notice that their ratings are now declining a tad, but yet again, you're looking at the NBA starting to pick up close to the playoff season now, going into March, and then you got
Yeah,
March
it's good.
Madness. So it's going to be tight for them, but at the same time, I still think it's doing pretty well considering. So
Absolutely, it's a very tough time in the market right now for sports with all that going on. So
I saw something else. What was the other thing I saw? Oh, they really did bash but the first time around, they bashed the NFL to the point where they were trying to discredit the NFL, which turned
yeah,
away a lot of football fans because they rely on the NFL for their football. So,
and now with the rule change the NFL has made of not being able to hit people and stuff like that, it's giving this a bigger platform where you see somebody get laid out and you're like, damn, that's real
yep.
football. Like the first couple of big hits the first week, I was like, holy shit, that's illegal. Oh no, it's not. That's football. Like it was great.
It's football. That's what
Yeah,
it is football, and that's what I like about it now. Just when they did the 2001 stuff, that they trial and error big time, way big time. You had The Rock saying, "Do you smell what the XFL's cooking?" Like, come on, don't do that.
yeah. At least Vince McMahon this time was smart enough to go a different route, and he isn't trying to oversell it. It's professional football on a lower level than the NFL. It's more comparable to the Canadian League or something like that,
Exactly.
but it's still a lot of talent that's out on that field. Especially you have BJ Walker and stuff like that, who's torn it up. Like, he's most likely going to go back to the NFL next year. A starter? No, but he'll be on a
Oh,
roster.
guaranteed. He'll probably, if not second string, he'd be third string. And half the time now, the way that
Yeah,
the teams do their lineups, half the time the third string guy gets to go in as like a wing back or something like, just something random, like if a running back or
yeah.
whatever.
Like Jordan Hill from New Orleans. He plays in your position, and he's a
Right.
quarterback.
So I did notice that the XFL has a bunch of different rules, which is actually interesting.
Yeah,
Um,
I've liked quite a few of them.
the point after convert the point after system is actually way better in my opinion than just some guy going out there and kicking the ball. That's my opinion.
Yeah. No, I love the option of going for 1, 2, or 3, the 2, 5, or 10. I don't think anybody's still converted to 3.1. I might be wrong after this past weekend, but I know before that nobody had. But it's you can score 27 points and 3 touchdowns. Like that's
Right,
huge.
and that's monumental if you really think about it, because like just I don't even know how to explain it right now. Like I'm at a loss for words. Um, it could turn the game from not being close to very close really quick. It's like you could be down
Yeah,
like let's see, 8 points. You go well 8 or 9 points, and you're thinking, well, crap. If I kick a field goal here, I'm still down two. No, you can actually tie the game up with that 3 point conversion. So
yeah.
and then
No, you could be down 25 and score 3 times, and be lucky enough to convert 3 of them, and you're in the lead. Like
right, and then let's see. Yeah, that was the main that and the double forward passing. The double
yeah,
forward passing
I
suite.
think those two and the kickoff I think are the biggest changes they've had.
Yeah, oh yeah, the kickoff too. Yeah, the kickoff's pretty
Yeah,
intense because it's more smash
and
mouth, I guess, is what you would like to say.
yeah, yeah. You're 5 yards apart from each other, and you have to wait until the guy has the ball to start returning, and then you can start going. One thing I noticed is if you have a touchback, you get it at the 35-yard line. And the DC game this past week, somebody got a personal foul on the. They kicked a field goal for 3, and they got a personal foul on the defense, which moved the kickoff obviously closer, 15 yards. So the chance of having a touchback at that point is a lot bigger. So it's almost worth getting a personal foul after a touchdown or a field goal to move that kicker
Right.
forward, and then guarantee you're going to start at the 35.
I agree. I definitely agree.
So I think something will have to be done with that because I mean, hell, if I was playing, I would get a personal foul after every touchdown. Why not? You're guaranteeing your team's going to get the ball to 35 pretty much.
That and then you started getting your players ejected, and you're like, oh crap! I have like five people to go on the field. Great.
Well, don't go like Miles Garrett crazy where you smack somebody on the side of the head with the helmet, but
Don't go Miles Garrett crazy. I like that one. The shorter half times, it that is interesting to me because the fact that you don't have much time to think about your game plan.
no, 10 minutes is not a lot of time at all. Especially if you've ever played sports, like that's
Like
nothing.
even the NBA halftime is like at least 15, 20 minutes. Like
Yeah,
there's some and I hate to say it, but it is true. There is strategy to basketball, but there's not as much strategy as there is to football. Like
not as much changes as you can
right.
make
So
because basketball is so much just bang bang. Football, it obviously there's a lot more time to develop plays and everything like that. So in 10 minutes, by the time you walk to the locker room, get to the locker room, walk back to the field, like you have what maybe 6, 7 minutes in there,
yeah,
maybe to go over a new game
that's what
plan.
I'm thinking. Something like that. It it there's oh wow. I lost my train of thought. I got so much in there. It just the whole point of the XFL so far, at least, has been very good.
Yeah, yeah. I didn't think I was going to enjoy it as much. Like I said, I picked DC from the beginning just because of Cardell Jones, and now I have a bad taste in my mouth of how he's played the last couple weeks, and started throwing teammates under the bus. Started to see why he's not in the NFL.
Yeah, yeah, that's the sad thing. Thing was, he did so good in college. Like, and I think honestly, it's just because the team he was
Yeah.
with and the arsenal he had with Ohio State at that time. But I don't know, just him as a player is not good.
Well, he
Like
has
he's just not good. He's not consistent, I guess is the right word.
no, and he's shown himself that he's not a leader. And as an NFL quarterback or hell, an XFL quarterback, no matter what level you're at, you have to be a leader to be a quarterback. And he's shown the last 2 weeks that he wants to throw his teammates under the bus, and that's not you then. So
To
I don't.
Canada with you, no.
I,
So
I don't even think he could go there. He's gonna. I I don't know. He maybe he'll pick it back up this coming week if he's even gonna play. But if I was Pat Hamilton, I wouldn't even start him this week.
No, I wouldn't either. I Who is their backup?
Jordan Smith, I believe.
Did
I
he?
believe he's come in the last 2 weeks in the fourth quarter.
I wonder who he played for. Did he play in the NFL? I feel like he did. I feel like I recognize that name.
I think there's another Jordan Smith that's in the NFL.
Okay. Um. Anyway, so about the teams. So number one in the East right now is the St. Louis Battlehawks. Wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you.
I mean, coming into the league, you didn't really exactly know who was going to be the best hockey once they had like it really was heavy, but now just like around the same place, they just opened the upper deck for their next home game, and it already sold like 90% of tickets. That team is showing that they're hungry.
Yeah, definitely. That city is hungry for football. You're a little low on my end. I don't know if it's the microphone or something.
Maybe.
There it is.
Okay.
That's better. Just thought I'd let you know.
I think I bumped my volume.
But then let's see. We got a tie for second technically with the New York Guardians and the DC Defenders, which Cardell Jones is part of the DC Defenders. That's why we keep bringing him up. They were starting out easily. They were comparatively the best team in the XFL at that time, and then just Cardell Jones failed it.
Yeah, yeah. He like you said earlier, the consistency is just not there for him. So I don't know if it's hopefully he can bounce back, but at this point, I wouldn't even start him this coming week.
Yeah,
And they are playing St. Louis, so it's going to be a tough game.
definitely. That's their
And
way to get back into the picture there for the playoff. Well, depending on the playoffs, because you have Tampa Bay as a 1-3 team, and they are. Tampa should just not have a football team. I'm sorry, they should not.
they won 25-0 last week against DC,
I and
and DC was touted as the best defense, and they got ran all over with the guy from Howland.
yeah, I don't know. The Buccaneers suck. Every Florida team that's near the Tampa area sucks. Like South Florida sucks. And then the Vipers are 1-3. Granted, they're on the right path now with the win, but I mean, to me, they just need to get rid of football. Go enjoy your sand on the beach and
There hasn't been a good team of football in Florida for how many years? Miami, Jacksonville, Tampa. Like,
any of
it's a
those.
rough state.
Yeah. So that's on the east side. Now on the west side, we got the Houston Roughnecks at number one, undefeated. They're the only undefeated team left in the XFL. I don't know one player on that team, but they work well together.
That's PJ Walker.
Okay. Yeah.
That's their quarterback. He was the one from Indianapolis, and Andrew Luck was the one that got him into the XFL because Andrew Luck's dad is the commissioner. And Andrew texted him and said, "Hey, this guy needs to be on a roster." And he's the one, definitely one I think will be back in the NFL next year,
Yeah. I
or in the NFL. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree because like they're playing just great football. 4-0. That yet again, there's only 8 teams and you're already 4-0. Like
Yeah,
you played 7 of the teams. So you got let's
yeah,
see,
you've already beat half the league.
you got Bob Stoops' team at 2-2 with the Dallas Renegades. They got Landry Jones as their quarterback. He's kind
Not
of
anymore. He's just towards what he tore his ACL or his meniscus or something. I know he's done for the year,
he's done for the
which
year.
doesn't really hurt them because he's been absolutely horrible. So
Yeah, he got fat.
yeah,
He got real fat. From his
they
college
try
years, he got fat. Like,
to make him the fake. Yeah, they try to make him the face of the league so quick, and it backfired so bad. He's like, "Oh, here's 2 picks, here's 3, here's 4,
yeah,
and I'm gonna get
I'm
hurt. I'm
done.
done."
I'm gonna retire from the XFL now. Like, and then you got the LA Wildcats and the Seattle Dragons at 1-3.
And I've seen LA, Seattle play. LA looked pretty good, but it was also against DC. So I don't know really what to take away from that. But the first 2 weeks, DC had the best defense. Like they had the first shutout in week 2, and they just dominated. And since then, they've lost to 2 teams that hadn't won a game yet.
Yeah,
So maybe it's just like a charity thing. They didn't want everybody to not win a game. They're giving back.
they're giving back. Here, you get a win now, because without a win now, you get your win now.
Yeah,
That's how they felt about
and
Tampa Bay. Just here's your win. Here you go,
yeah.
bud. Here
So
you
now
go,
they're going
bud.
to turn on a tear and just win the rest of the games.
So that I don't know. I had to. They haven't really discussed. I don't. At least they. I don't think they have their playoff like implications. Like I don't know how many teams make the playoffs. I don't know if it's 2 teams in each conference and then they play for the championship afterward, or how that's supposed to work.
I know they have these schedules set up with me. I don't know if it's two. It might be 3 teams from each. That would make the most sense going with 6 teams. 2 teams. I mean, you only have 8 teams, so.
I mean, you could have just
Oh no,
all four,
you're
all
right.
eight
No,
teams.
you're right. It's 4.
So yeah, your top 2 in each, and then the West and the East will battle for the championship. That makes sense. Um,
April 18th and 19th, the playoff, and then April 26th is the championship game.
and I'm still excited for it. I think it's great football,
Yeah,
and honestly, I think it's revolutionary to an extent because I mean they have changed rules, and for the most part, they're not bad changes as long as you implement them the right way.
yeah, they've been very exciting for the game, and I'm honestly curious to see if the NFL takes anything away from this as per rule changes. I don't see them getting away from the field goals or the extra point tries. That I don't think will ever happen. But the kickoffs, they want safer kickoffs. I think this would be the way to go and do it.
I agree. I agree completely. So, all right, we both had talked about this, and it's a good idea. We're gonna pick this week's games, and we're gonna see how well we do. Because obviously the XFL is very unpredictable with their schedule, like the way they pick the.
And I'm honestly really glad we didn't do this last week because I think I would have been wrong on damn near every game.
I actually would have been at least 2-2 because I called I said Tampa would get their win. I was going for the
Yeah,
underdog.
I didn't have that.
I was going for the win on that. Um, so all right, so we'll start down the line because there's 2 games on Saturday, 2 games on Sunday. So we'll go with the tomorrow night games. Well, tomorrow afternoon games, I guess, because they're at 2 and 5. So at 2 o'clock we got the Dragons and the Roughnecks. Who would you pick to win that game?
Got to go with Houston. Got to.
I'm writing this down so no one can change their answer next week. So you put down Houston. I'm agreeing with you on the Houston because yet again they're just playing great football and Seattle doesn't seem like they got their groove yet, but they could have their groove eventually down the line. So
Yeah, I think all the teams are going to end up coming into it. I mean, I don't know how much time they had before this season to actually practice and training camp and all that, but all these players that haven't played professionally in how long or came from college, stuff like that, it's going to take a little bit for them to get their groove.
I
But
agree.
it's been very competitive.
I agree. And watch, we could
Now,
see Houston get their first loss of the season. So
yeah, oh hell, the last 2 weeks they've only won by I think 3 points and 2 points. They've been very close. So
definitely. All right. So at 5 o'clock,
are we going with points? Are we going with the point spread or just flat out?
I'm saying flat out, we can go point spread. Do you
Okay.
know what point spread is for that game?
Oh, 12 and a half.
Oh, oh. Um,
You want to do one with and one without?
one with,
So they'll
one
have
with,
2 picks
yeah,
each game.
one with, one
I'm
without.
still taking. I'm still going with Houston, even giving up 12
I
and a half.
I'm agreeing with that too. So Houston for both. So point spread and then regular. I'm writing these down here. Point spread.
No, I better not see any white on your answers
Oh,
next
dude,
week.
I got this all written down right here. I ain't changing nothing. So, by the way, that game is on 2 p.m. on ABC. Why 2 p.m.? I don't know. That's so weird. Um,
Yeah,
The times of these
I
games.
get for Saturday more people go out later.
Yeah, but like you have your prime time, like college games are prime time for 7 o'clock, and then their mid shift games are 3. So at least make it 3 o'clock. I don't know.
Yeah,
And then this one on Saturday afternoon night, I guess at 5 p.m.
at
on
5.
Fox,
Yeah,
we got the New York Guardians going against the Dallas Renegades. Who
I'm gonna take Dallas overall, just flat out. But I'm gonna give the point spread, which is 6.5, to New York.
6.5 to New York. Let me see. I accidentally wrote that on my name. I'm gonna write that down here. Let's see. And then you said New York for the point spread. That's not much of a point spread though. But I don't know. Both those teams are competitive.
Yeah, but both being 2-2, yeah, that's why I think Dallas is gonna win. But I think New York will at least be within 6 points,
I think
6.5.
I'm actually gonna go Dallas on the point spread too, because depending on who knows, I don't know who the quarterback is that we're going to play Orlando Jones, but who knows? He may come out and throw like freaking 5 touchdowns. Like we don't even know it. So I'm
Yeah,
gonna go with the underdog, kind of not really the underdog, but kind of with the
so
points. Yeah.
New
So
York.
I'm going with Dallas and Dallas.
Okay, so we're
So we're not the same on that one.
oh, no Dallas. The guard. Okay, so I'm taking New York with 6.5. You're
Yeah.
taking Dallas
Yep.
flat out,
Flat out
both.
both.
Okay.
So let's see. So at 3 p.m. on Sunday on FS1, we got the Battlehawks and the DC Defenders.
St. Louis is getting. They're giving up 4.
That's it?
DC is at home, and they won their first 2 games at home. Honestly, it's probably a dumb call, but I'm going to go with DC for both. I think it's going to be a bounce back game.
It's in DC.
I know. Yeah.
I'm going to go DC on the point spread, but St. Louis on the regular because they're just
Okay.
watching them like I've watched highlights and tried to catch a little bit of their game, which I did, and they sync well as a team. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't know if they're happy to play for St. Louis and they're happy to bring football back to St. Louis, but
Hell, I
something
wouldn't be.
about it, something about it, it's one of those things that just it makes you want to cheer for them. I hate their logo. I wish it was like an actual hawk with like a fucking shield or some shit. But
Well, if you turn it upside down, it says STL. I think that's why they did it.
oh, I didn't know. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, if you flip it upside down, it spells out STL.
Oh, now I might have to get that hat.
It's pretty cool.
I was gonna get either the Dallas Renegade hat or the Battlehawks hat, and I'm still debating on which one I want. I think I might go with the Dallas Renegades one still because that I don't know why that logo is cool to me.
I like the Renegades one. It reminds me of the guy from Overwatch, John Marston guy.
Yeah,
Face covered, yeah.
I like. I don't
It's
know.
pretty
I
badass.
like that. Um, so the last game, which I don't, and this is the game like it's a 9 p.m. game on ESPN. It's the LA
Like you said, their
Wildcats.
times just make no sense. They're in LA, so that's 6 o'clock for them. So that'd be why.
Yeah. So you got
That makes sense.
the LA Wildcats and the Tampa Bay Vipers. What is the point spread
After
on that?
LA is given up to,
Yet again, that surprises me. Um,
but they're at home, so
yeah, I think that might. Honestly, I don't even know. Yeah, that one's good. That one's a tough one for me.
last week how they showed up. Yeah, I'm going with the Vipers for both. After the way they showed up last week, and
Vipers
only
for
2 points,
both.
I'm not going to give it spread for that. Yeah, LA, I don't think it's there yet. And hell, when you have no fans show up at your game, like there's nothing to really.
Tampa Bay should not have. Not Tampa Bay. I'm sorry. Los Angeles should not
LA,
have. Yes, LA should not have football in general.
No,
Give them the Lakers and the Clippers. Let them be happy there, and just no
yeah.
football.
Hell, they have two baseball teams, two football teams, two basketball teams, one hockey team, and nobody gives a shit about football in LA. They've made that very clear. They don't show up to the games. Like,
Like I would like to see the XFL. I don't know because they're eventually supposed to introduce a Team Nine. I, if you look on their
yeah,
website, I would like it to be in Columbus. That would be
I can see
cool
that.
because you got one of the biggest schools in the country there. It makes sense. Like people in Columbus really don't have a team to root for. I mean, you got Cincinnati, but you really, yeah. I mean, that's what I'm saying. You could bring back football, just not in college season. Once college is done, you could go straight and go. All right, I got a team to root for here during the off
Yeah,
season. It's not about it. Just or you could even move the Wildcats to Columbus. Like
I am curious to see if they're going to move any of these teams around, especially based on like obviously on attendance and everything like that. And LA would be a good one to move. They've been the lowest attendance. And again, like I don't understand why you would put a third professional football team in LA when the two in the NFL don't do shit for attendance.
they don't do anything for attendance, and they're garbage. Like
Yeah,
I'm trying to. Okay, it's not. Is it? The Raiders are in Vegas now.
Raiders
It's
are going to be starting in Vegas, the Chargers and Rams.
Chargers and Rams. The only team that's really drawing money to LA for football is the Rams. The Chargers suck.
Yeah.
And
Oh, the Rams were in the Super Bowl their second year in LA.
right, so I can see leaving one team, but I would say the Chargers move and the Wildcats move. No one like
Yeah,
oh I gotta pick
Chargers need to
mine.
go back to San Diego. Oh yeah, you didn't pick yours.
Yeah, Chargers go back to San
Yeah,
Diego and then move the Wildcats to Columbus. There you go, problem solved. Um,
yeah.
let's see. This game's tough. So LA's given up two. I honestly think I don't know though, because I want to say LA, but yet again, I don't like LA, and I don't know why. I just don't like them. Um, I'm gonna go point spread Tampa, and man, I'm gonna go LA with the regular because I don't know. I don't know why. I just am. So we got Houston for both. So I'm gonna go over what we got here. Houston for both. You got DC for both in that one. I got DC and St. Louis. You got I got Dallas for both, and you got New York and Dallas for your point spreads, and New York for your point spread, obviously, and then your regular is Dallas,
Yep.
and then everything else is basically just basically went right down the line. Was like, I think all these teams are going to win, even with their point spreads, which is not a bad way to think about it, but I don't know. Like we've seen a
No.
lot of close games this year, like this time around. Like everything's been close. And then there's been blowouts, but everything seemed very close for the most part.
Yeah. Well, week two, DC blew out the Guardians, and then last week they get absolutely shit on.
By LA, God, I hate LA.
LA and Tampa Bay. Like
Not
I don't.
football is not better in LA.
LA.
LA, but I God, um, God, it just frustrates me. I hate LA. Um, so March Madness is coming up. Out of the top 25
Yep.
teams, who do you think has the best chance out of the top 25? Because obviously you're going to have some ringers in there that are going to knock teams around, and it happens every year. Who would you think out of the top 25 would win the whole thing?
Oh, honestly, the way it's been this year is such a toss-up, and there's so many different schools in the top 25 this year that's not normally there. Uh, I have to go with Gonzaga. They're one of the few teams that are always up there every year. I think they have a pretty solid team. I like the Tar Heels, so we're not even making the tournament this year. We'll be lucky to make the NIT.
That's
So
sad. I'm sorry.
yeah,
I'm a Mountaineer fan, but I'm gonna live realistically here. Well, to an extent, I think, because you're gonna be like, no. My answer, you're already my answer. You're gonna go, no, it ain't happening. I know the Mountaineers aren't gonna win the whole thing. They'll probably get to the Sweet 16 then lose. But the Dayton Flyers,
it. I know their schedule isn't as tough. They're not in a bigger conference, but I mean, again, it's March Madness. We saw what Virginia lose to a 16 seed 2 years ago, so anything can happen. That's the
right?
great thing about it.
And I don't know why, but just it's Dayton. Like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like
Well, look at Butler. What 10 years ago when Gordon Hayward and Brad Stevens were there? Who the hell would
oh
think a conference from the same conference as Youngstown State
oh
is going to end up in the finals 2 years in a row?
oh that makes me so angry because that was the year that West Virginia got ripped off by Duke, and it should have been West Virginia and Butler for the fucking national championship. God damn it! To this day, I honestly think that Duke and West Virginia game was the worst officiating I've ever seen in my life. It was so one-sided. They called it
Well,
all
you know a
50.
bigger school is going to get it.
Oh, it makes me so angry because I remember because Gerard Butler played for WVU. He tore his ACL, and they called a charge on him as he's like, it wasn't even a charge. That's what makes it worse. He tore his ACL trying to drive to the hoop. The guy literally moved his feet, so it should have been a defensive foul. He tore his ACL, and they called a foul on him. Just an insult to injury. Called a foul on him. Ever since then, West Virginia's been okay at basketball, but it's never been the same.
Here, I'll switch up the shirt for this segment. I don't know if you can really see the shirt, but
Yep,
North
North
Carolina.
Carolina. Well, a couple of viewers got to see your nips. They're probably happy about that.
Next time, sure.
But yeah, I, cause like, if you all right, I guess now we can talk since we already picked who we think's gonna win March Madness. I guess out of the Power Five, who do you think's gonna win each conference?
Oh, let me run down my list here. ACC, I'm gonna start with that. Huge toss-up. I mean, so many close teams. Obviously, I would love to say UNC is gonna make some incredible comeback and just absolutely destroy it, but I know it's not gonna happen.
They're always a tournament team, though. You never know.
They really are, but in conference play, they're 13 and 17 overall. Like, it's been such a bad year.
Yeah.
Uh, I know Virginia is fourth, but I'm gonna go with Virginia. There again, I had won the national championship. I think they're gonna come back stronger.
I think even though like they are the top of the division is well at least close with Duke. I know they've been battling it out, but Florida State. I think
Florida State is number one, yeah.
so. I don't know what it is about Florida State, and it's just they never have a good basketball team. So it's nice to see them have a good basketball team.
And that's why I didn't pick them because I feel like some of the players of Virginia have that conference championship experience. They have that tournament experience, so I think they're going to turn it on an extra,
Yeah,
turn it up to 10 when they go into it.
if I had to, if I got to choose two, it would be Florida State or Virginia easily. But since I'm picking one, I'm going with Florida State.
Okay.
So we could jump to Big Ten, Pac-12, and
Go. I'm just going alphabetically on here. So yeah, Big Ten. Big Ten. Wow, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. They have 8 ranked teams. I'm going to be a homer. I'm going to go Ohio State. Is it going to happen? Probably not,
I
but I'm damn sure not picking Michigan.
I was gonna pick Ohio State as well, actually. So you're not the only one there. And the thing is, with Ohio State, they really haven't had a credible team since they had D'Angelo Russell.
And even then, they weren't that great. The last time they were actually like considered a contender was hell,
Yeah,
Greg
Greg
Oden
Oden
with his 57-year-old ass graduating from college.
goes to the NBA, plays a year, gets hurt, never comes back.
Yeah, which it happens to a lot of guys that size. Yao
Yeah.
Ming could have been one of the best centers, and injuries. If you're that tall, you got to be built like Shaq. You got to have that those strong legs, that weight.
Mm-hmm. Uh, yeah, because Shaq's just a freaking monster. Did you see his hairline?
Yeah.
His hairline. He's like, I saw him say something about it on. I was on Instagram, and SportsCenter covers everything. It can be a fly landing on like LeBron James's nose, and they'll cover it. They literally where he was like, "Man, I'm gonna keep this. I don't care what anyone says. My hairline looks great." And I'm like, "Please shave it."
His hairline is damn near worse than
Yeah, it's
LeBron's,
pretty rough.
and LeBron doesn't have hair.
It's rough.
It starts so far back.
Dude, they had easily those two had the biggest foreheads in the NBA.
Oh yeah. All right, so Pac-12
Or
next.
Big
You said?
12, because if you're going alphabetical, Big 12 would be next, I would think.
Oh yeah, Big 12. Kansas. Yeah. Baylor maybe, but those are I think this is the only two that even have a shot.
Who,
I really think.
where is the tournament played at? For I want to say it's in Arlington, Texas, but I may be wrong. For the Big 12 tourney, I can't remember.
I'm honestly not sure. I've never really followed the Big 12 too
If
closely,
it's in
so
Texas, I'm going with the Mountaineers. They play well in Texas. I don't know though, because you know in the Big 12, Texas is actually playing really good basketball. I can see them sneaking their way in
yeah.
and winning the whole tournament, Big 12 tournament, not March Madness, but getting in there that they'll lose in the second round. But they're playing really good basketball.
There's a big drop off for the Big 12. Kansas is 16-1, Baylor 15-2, and then Texas is 9-8. There's a big drop off in
Yeah,
that conference. That's just conference play.
I I'm
I don't think
I'm going with my
Kansas.
boys, the Mountaineers. I hate to
Uh,
God, I know they're not going to, but if I don't know why,
I
but
think I would love to say UNC, but I know it's not
right,
going to happen. I would
I,
love to see it happen,
I just don't
but
want to see Kansas do win
Cole
another
Anthony
Big
just show
12
out.
championship. I don't want to see it.
Oh, I fucking hate
Kansas,
Kansas. Kansas, Kentucky, along with Duke, are like my bottom three
yeah.
of college teams.
My dad's a Kentucky fan, so the one year they had John Wall and DeMarcus Cousins and all those big guys, and West Virginia beat them bad. I was sitting there texting my dad that night. I was like, "Hey, you watching the game? Hey, you watching the game?" He's like, "Shut up." um,
Well, hell, like last year when UNC beat Duke with RJ, Zion, and they smacked them both. I mean, I know Zion blew out of his shoe the first game, but both games they just
yeah,
destroyed them. Like, yeah, that's what you get.
that that's what you get.
Fucking pissed every day at my house. It was like 10:30 at night. I'm drunk as shit watching the game, just screaming. My daughter's sleeping. I'm like, fuck, be quiet.
Shut up! I'm enjoying the game. No.
No, I was yelling at myself. I'm like, shit, I gotta stop yelling. They get to the basket. Yeah! Fuck Duke!
Let's see. So Pac-12 would be next. God, I don't even know who's good in the
Pac
Pac-12 this
12.
year.
Oregon's the only team ranked, but there are. Them and UCLA are tied for overall. There are 7 teams within 5 games of the conference. Five,
Um,
5 teams within 2 games. You got Oregon, UCLA, Colorado, Arizona, Arizona State, USC. Stanford.
Hmm.
Again, I'm just again I don't pay big attention to the Pac-12. So I'm gonna go with Oregon. Yeah, I will go with Oregon for that.
I think I'm gonna go Oregon with that too. As much as I want to say Arizona State, and I, I don't, I don't like you said.
And
I
they're
don't
they're
really.
10-7 in conference, right? 19-11 overall, so they're definitely doing good. But they're like, Oregon's the only one ranked in that conference.
I don't understand how because they don't. The Pac-12 doesn't really play anyone. That's my thing. It's just like
No,
football. They don't play anyone, but yet they still sneak into the playoffs. And it's like the one year Washington like went undefeated. They played no one on their schedule, like in football. They played
yeah,
no one on their schedule and then get smacked in the first round of the playoffs. Like,
yeah. Hell, look at what USF a couple years ago for football went undefeated and then self-proclaimed national champions. It's like maybe play somebody and we'll think about putting you in the
they
fucking
play in
playoffs.
the
Like,
MAC or the Conference USA or whatever it is. Like they play Marshall.
yeah,
Like, of course you're gonna beat Marshall.
yeah.
Like, anyway, I can go out there by
Marshall's famous for one
myself and
thing, and
beat
it's not
Marshall.
winning games.
Just kidding. I don't think that.
Just because you got him. No, we got this, man.
Crap. Yeah, me and you could do it, but by myself, no. So now we got the SEC, and I don't even know who's good in the SEC this year, because I know Kentucky was
Kentucky,
struggling.
Kentucky's 14-3, Auburn's 11-6, LSU is 11-6, Florida's 11-6, Missouri State, Mississippi State. I'm sorry, is 10-7. South Carolina's 10-7. Tennessee and Texas A&M are 9-8, and then it falls off with a losing record. Again, I will go Kentucky. I mean, they're with John Calipari, they're just a solid team in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's one of those
He knows how to win,
coaches. Yeah, I would have to go Kentucky too. I
especially when they're fighting for a number one overall seed. I think they're going to turn it
I
on.
don't understand how though. I don't get how they're fighting for number one overall seed. Like they're not that.
I mean, they're number 6. They're
Oh,
yeah,
they're
they've lost
six.
6 games.
Last
Yeah,
time I looked, they were eighth or ninth or something like that. So yeah, that wouldn't make sense if they're sixth to fight for that number one seed overall.
like I mean, I know you said Dayton, and they're third right now, but I have a hard time seeing the committee giving them a number one seed.
Oh yeah, that will be so hard to do to let
Yeah,
Dayton have that.
even though they're right, even if it ended today, they're third, so it should go Kansas, Gonzaga, Dayton, and Baylor, and then San Diego State University is fifth. Like I don't see them even being a 2 seed. Like
I see San Diego.
I see Dayton being a 2, and probably San Diego being a
Yeah,
3.
San Diego being a three, but they would get. I think they would get rocked in the first round. If not in the first round, it'd be the second round because they don't play anyone. Like
Yeah,
that's a problem.
I know.
Like with San Diego State, they don't play anyone. Dayton, they they do in the preseason because they always have those preseason tournaments, and they do well in
Yeah,
them. But like in regular season, they really don't play anyone. Especially conference, they don't play anyone. But I don't know
yeah.
why. I just feel like Dayton's gonna win the whole thing. The little town of Dayton.
I mean, it'd be cool as hell, but
Uh,
like you say, I don't really see. I If they get a 2 seed, I could see them going maybe Sweet 16 because I don't see them losing to a 16 or a 15,
no.
and then a 13 or anything like that. I think they'll
Freaking cat
do a
is
pretty good job of
standing
carrying on. But hell,
behind
like Virginia,
me.
I wonder what the hell you're looking at.
Yeah, my cat started
Then like
moving.
Virginia a couple years ago, like nobody ever thought a 1 was going to lose to a 16, and they got smacked by what 23, 24 points. Like
Yeah.
you're an embarrassment.
You're an embarrassment. You should go home.
Like if I was a starter on that team, I would never play basketball again. I'd be like, we fucked up. I got nothing.
We're done.
We got smacked with school nobody's ever heard of.
We suck. We're done. Call it a day.
But then that team, who the hell did they lose? Was it Wichita? It wasn't Wichita. It was a school with the old nun that they kept throwing out there. I can't think of what, but
Oh,
they made. I think
I
they
know.
made it to the Elite Eight.
I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of who that is.
And it's right there.
Oh my god. I'm gonna look it up real quick.
Now UBMC,
Yeah, some random ass college.
University of Maryland, Baltimore. But I'm pretty sure they made it. Oh no, they wait. Oh no, they lost in the second round. Oh, never mind. They lost to Kansas State in the second round, 50-43.
For
Yeah, they beat
heaven's
Virginia
sake.
74-54, and then lost to Kansas State.
I don't.
Even
For
that though, I mean, that team you still have to be pumped. You're the first ever team to beat a number one overall seed.
yeah, I'm just hoping Duke gets like a second seed, plays like Lehigh or something like that. Some
I
small.
beat them a couple years ago.
Yep, and just they just get rocked again.
They're if they make it past the Sweet 16, they're damn near a lock to play in the championship. But that's all. Sweet Six, the second round of Sweet 16 is always like their kryptonite. It's great. I love it.
It's always the kryptonite. I hate Duke.
Now, I do like Coach K. He is a very good coach. I do respect him. Besides that, fuck Duke.
I like Coach K as a coach. That dude is a massive prick.
Yeah,
he thinks he's way better than he actually is. He is a great coach. Easily probably one of the best
I mean
college
he's
coaches of all time. But if he went to the NBA, he would fail, in my opinion. Kind of like Nick
yeah
Saban, greatest college football coach of all time, but he failed in the NFL.
yeah. But it's a big difference when there's people getting paid and you're telling them what to do and they're grown ass men compared to people that aren't getting paid and they're college kids. They're they're going to show a little bit more respect when you're in college.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Now I think with Coach K coaching the USA Olympic team every time, he's not anymore, but I think he could have went to the NBA and people would have had a massive amount of respect for him and done well. But when you have that good of something at Duke for 40 years, you ain't gonna leave it.
No, you're not gonna leave it. That's like Nick Saban. He's the highest paid person in the state of Alabama. He makes more than everyone in the government does down there. Why would you give up coaching to Alabama?
Yeah,
That's just stupid. As much as
especially when he's tried to go to the NFL.
as much as I would love to see him go to the WVU and coach, because he is a West Virginia boy, so I would love to see him coach WVU, but it would never happen. I already know it would never happen,
Yeah,
but I could dream.
that was like Urban Meyer coming to Ohio State. Like I don't like Florida University, and I was like, fuck Urban Meyer. And then he came, I was like, yeah, Urban Meyer.
Yeah, Urban Meyer, it's great.
And then I have health issues again. Shit. But then we got Ryan Day, and he killed it his first year, so happy with that.
He went undefeated his first year, right?
Yeah, until Clemson.
No, that was
No, this was his first year. He coached 4 games last year when Urban Meyer was suspended.
oh yeah. I'm still in the Urban Meyer thing.
Oh.
Yeah, because that was the year they were suspended, and they went undefeated, and they couldn't go into a bowl game. I don't know if you remember that.
Oh, the entire
And
yeah,
they
yeah.
couldn't be
That was his
ranked or
first year.
anything because they were being punished
Yeah.
for the tattoo. Was it the tattoo thing? I think it was.
Terrell Pryor and Jim Tressel Terrell Pryor was giving away the jerseys for free tattoos,
Yeah.
which is the dumbest reason to ever like. Jim Tressel got fired over it, like dumbest shit ever. But last year was Urban Meyer apparently didn't disclose stuff that one of his assistant coaches beat his wife or something along those lines, and he did everything he was supposed to do. But Ohio State was just covering their ass and suspended him for 4 games.
Jesus.
So that's why Ryan Day coached the first 4 games last year, and then this year was his first full time one.
That guy's a good coach. Like
Yeah.
Anyone under like those coaches though, like like Nick Saban, his like assistant coaches, they can go on to do great things because they've learned so much from that.
Look at Lane Kiffin.
Lane Kiffin wasn't originally under Nick Saban. In Nick Saban's defense, he was never he was there for a year and then left to go to Florida Atlantic or something.
Well, he was there for several years before, and then went to the NFL, and then came back, and now he's at Florida Atlantic.
You're right, because he did that, went to the NFL, coached USC, failed there, went to
I think for
Alabama
one
for
year,
a
and they
year.
fired him.
Yeah, and then went to Alabama for a year, and then took a job in Florida Atlantic and just tanked it there too. So, all right, my
They
comment's
had a
not
pretty decent year
true.
last year, didn't they? I think they had a pretty decent year last year, actually.
Florida Atlantic?
Yeah, I mean, obviously they don't play anybody,
No.
but
I'm trying to. Are they in the Coastal Atlantic Division or something like that? I feel like the
the Sun Belt
Sun Belt. So they play like Coastal Carolina.
team, yeah, teams like that.
Yeah,
They went 9-4. Oh wait, no, they went 5-7. Or is he at FIU?
maybe it was FIU.
I think it's FI. Yeah, because I thought he had a winning record. Which, if that's the case, they were 9-4.
Yeah, he might have had a winning record then. He might have been at Florida International then, or whatever it's called. I think that, or whatever it's called. I don't care.
Okay, well apparently he's not. He's at the University of Mississippi now. When the hell did that happen?
You would think ESPN would have covered that.
Yeah,
Is he the head coach there, or is he an offensive?
that's what I'm trying to find. He was Florida Atlantic. Oh no, okay, he was Florida Atlantic for 2017 to 2019, and now he's the head coach of Ole Miss.
Oh no,
So that had to have just happened
dude,
recently
he's gonna get smacked in
because
the
it's 2020.
SEC. He's gonna get.
Yeah, it was. It was Florida Atlantic. So yeah, he went 5-7 there.
Why would you pick him
Which I
up?
mean,
I don't understand it.
I don't know why guys like that keep getting opportunities when you're obviously not a good coach.
No, they're not good at all.
It'd be like it would be like Pittsburgh firing their Mike Tomlin and then hiring Hugh Jackson. Like,
You're not wrong.
okay, it would be like New England firing Belichick and hiring Hugh Jackson. I'll give a good team, not trash ass Pittsburgh.
Or if you want to go really out there, because you know his NFL career was trash, you fire Bill Belichick and then hire Nick Saban.
Yeah, yeah. Like,
Because man, that guy at Miami Dolphins, he was fucking terrible.
oh, his defense is Miami, so they haven't had a good
The
team since
one coach
Marino.
that's done good college and professional is Pete Carroll with the
Yeah,
Seahawks.
which the last couple years he's
Yeah,
really surprised me. I thought after Marshawn Lynch and the Legion of Boom, I thought it was going to be it. I thought he was going to be like a Steve Kerr, where his main players are out or hurt or leave, and it shows you're not a good coach. But no, Pete Carroll has stepped up.
Yeah, he's actually
He's done a
yeah.
very good job.
I think they're even well, like last year. I think they were in the playoffs and not in the playoffs. I think they made the NFC Championship. I think and then lost, or they were close. It was the second round, either the round before that or the NFC Championship.
This past year was fuck. Who was even in the NFC
I
Championship
know
game?
it was the 49ers, but I don't know who the other team was.
Oh yeah, 49ers. Who the hell? It wasn't Green Bay, was
I
it?
don't think it
No.
was.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, it was.
wow. You know, a guy from Boardman plays as the center for the Green Bay Packers. Yeah,
Oh
his
really?
name's.
There's a lot of guys from around
I used to
here.
play football with him too. He was a grade above me. Yeah, I want him to start signing my paychecks. Just here's some money. Thanks, man. I played football with you. Remember me? No, you're puny. Of course I was. I was puny in high school.
Yeah, it was 37-27 San Fran over Green Bay.
and then
Or 37-20.
see,
If I could read
I love
37-20.
the NFL and all. Don't get me wrong, but I'd much rather watch college football in my opinion. It's more entertaining to me. Like I'd rather sit down on a Saturday.
See, I'd rather watch
I'll
the
sit down on a
NFL.
Saturday and just watch all college football games and be content, and then never watch an NFL game. Like I don't, I don't know why. I think it's just there's so many rules.
But yeah, it's definitely gone downhill in the last couple of years. And there's a lot of people that I know that would rather watch college football than the NFL anymore. And I've definitely gotten more into it the last couple of years, but I'm would still rather go NFL.
Yeah, I'd pick college, and then honestly, if the XFL keeps up what they're doing, I'd pick the XFL over the NFL. But yet again, they're in different times of the year, so it's a little different. So
I said I hope they don't try to do what the USFL did, where they did the same thing the XFL's doing now, and it was a great league in the same time frame as the XFL. And then their third season, they're like, well, we're going to go to fall football and compete with the NFL, and then didn't even play that year
yeah, it.
because they sued the NFL for millions, and they won their lawsuit, and they were rewarded $1.
Here's your
Yeah, I think it got up to $3, but yeah, they
here,
won $1
here's your
by suing
dollar.
the
Have a
NFL.
nice day. Like, that lawyer was just rolling in money.
Like, get the hell out. Yeah,
Oh my, like I don't know if you pay attention to baseball, but
a little bit.
the season's so long and there's so many games and like you could have a team go from like first to third in a day because they play double headers and crap.
Yeah, baseball. I've never really gotten into too much, just because I watch it more towards the end of the year, more at the end of the season, because I'm not watching 181 games,
No,
182, whatever the hell they play, or 160. I don't know. That's too many goddamn
it's
games.
America's pastime and it's not my time, so that's the pastime.
No,
Um, I
yeah,
understand why it has a fan
like
base, but
I like going to the games.
don't go.
Yeah, I like going to the games. That's a lot more enjoyable. I love going to Indians games, but
Yeah, uh, last time I went to an Indians game, I saw them play the Tampa Bay Rays, which is my team, and they won by a run, and it was a 1-0 game. It was so boring. I couldn't have. It's just
yeah,
even if you're there, it's like unless they're literally just smacking home runs like crazy, it's not fun to watch. It's just like, oh, he caught the ball.
yeah,
All right, switching sides. Okay, like
yeah. That's what I try to plan mine on who they're playing. Like I've been there twice. And I've got to see them play the Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw pitch, which seeing somebody like that pitch, I know it's not going to get a lot of hits out of the Indians, but it's cool to see somebody that good
yeah,
to pitch. Seeing him, them play in New York, saw him play CC Sabathia before he
Kluber.
retired, even though he was in Cleveland before. But
Mm,
Kluber, he pitched against Kershaw, so
yeah,
that was cool.
that probably was like an epic game to watch just on the defensive side. Like if you had to really appreciate baseball to like really enjoy that type of game though.
Yeah, that. Yeah, and I mean, I was hammered by the third inning, so I was like, I don't give a shit what happens. But I was one section up right behind home plate, so it was really cool. I think it did, and they're like $20 to sit there. Like
Well,
it's
they got that
perfect. $20 to
they got that
go.
beer thing now where it's like that little clubhouse that has all the beer or whatever in it. And like you could
Yeah,
buy $15 tickets, get a free beer, and then you're like there for the game, and you don't get a seat, you just stand. But like, heck, depending
yeah,
on who's playing, you could go walk down and have a seat. Like,
yeah. That's it. Last time I went, it was the final day of the regular season for baseball, and I went to the Browns game against Cincinnati when I was a Cincinnati Bengals fan. Watched Cincinnati whoop the shit out of the Indians, or wow, it's whooped the shit out of the Browns, and I ran across the city to Progressive Field and got a ticket in like the fifth inning. So everybody hated me there because I was decked out from head to toe in Bengals gear. But I'm like, I'm rooting for the Indians now. It's
I'm an
okay.
Indians fan, I swear, I swear.
Got my Tyler Eifert jersey on my hat, and everybody just give me weird looks. I'm like, yeah, Indians. They're like, what the
Yeah, what
hell is
is wrong
happening?
with
I'm
you?
like, oh, this is the other game. I'm like, I just saw 2 professional sports games in one day for like $50. I'm good. I'm happy.
Could you like were you drunk at that time running across?
Oh, I was hammered. I sprinted across that city.
I can just imagine you running and just going full speed and then just tripping and just like getting the progressive field. You're like, I'm almost there, and just go wham right on the ground. Oh, that'd be the race
Oh,
I
that'd have
finish.
been.
That'd be
Oh,
me, hands down. I'd trip and fall on a curb and
I don't know how I didn't. I mean, I was running down like weird alleys and shit. I'm like, I know it's that way, and I just kept running that direction. I was like, okay, it's right down East 9th Street. I'm gonna go this way and go through alleys. It's gonna be quicker. Probably was not quicker whatsoever, but makes a
oh,
good
that's a great
story.
story. That's a great story to tell. I'm trying to think of
Oh,
trying to think of anything else really going on in the sport. Like you got UFC and but nothing really. You had John Jones return recently, but he obviously clobbered whoever he fought. It was some nobody.
no, they went. That was he almost lost that
Oh,
fight. That went
I'm
five
sorry.
rounds,
I'm thinking the McGregor fight.
and he. I
He clobbered the cowboy dude or
oh
whatever his name
yeah,
was.
Donald
Yeah,
Cerrone. Yeah, Jones and I can't think of who he fought, but yeah, they went 5 rounds, and I personally thought he should have lost. I thought he lost the first 3 rounds.
yeah,
But then you had Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder,
yeah. And
which is a shit show.
just Tyson Fury's just so quick for how big. Dude, he moves like Muhammad Ali almost. Like they showed clips of him and
He
like him doing like the shimmy and stuff like that, and he just
yeah
it looked like almost identical. It was creepy.
yeah he's a lot better than people gave him credit for before that fight. And then Wilder's like, oh, the costume I wore to the ring weighed 40 pounds. That's why I didn't have legs. And it had LED lights in the mask. That's why I couldn't see. Well, you're an idiot for fucking doing that. Why would you, like, just. It's boxing. You're not at a fucking
Blinding.
talent show. Like, go in, beat the shit out of the dude, do your business, and leave. Like, why you need this whole costume
This
set
ain't
up and all that?
WWE. You don't need a flashy get up. Like
Yeah, like,
that's like
yeah. Go in,
that's like the
fight them.
KSI. I don't know if you watched it. Me, my brother, and Amber watched it, and we watched the KSI Logan Paul fight, and
I never did
oh my
watch it, no.
god! And granted, it actually was one of the best fights of the night, considering they were the main event, and a bunch of like small boxing, like smaller boxers boxed, and dude, you had Logan Paul. He's like, oh, I was sick. I had a cold. Dude, you're in frickin' LA in like warm weather. It was like 80 degrees. People were wearing shorts and a tank, like shorts and tank top, like during the pre-interviews and stuff to see who wins. And he's like, I got a cold. I sneezed 3 times, and that's why I lost. Like, no, you didn't. You just lost. Get over it.
Yeah. Like if you get your ass beat, just like, okay, yeah, I need to go back and train
Yeah,
harder. I'll be
like
back.
it was.
But like Wilder already, he had something in his contract of his clause that he can immediately fight Tyson Fury against. They're fighting in like July, I think, again.
I think Tyson Fury is just a better fighter
And
in
he's
general.
gonna, yeah, yeah. Wilder showed he has one move and it's his right
Mm-hmm.
hook. And I mean, granted for Tyson, in Wilder's defense, when you get your eardrum ruptured in the second round,
That's just.
yeah, you're not going to
I
stand
mean,
good.
that's just because Tyson Fury's that good and he clocked that shot though. Like that.
He's like 270 pounds just hitting you in the side of the head. Like I would probably go into a seizure
I
and
would be
probably
dead.
die.
My head would be decapitated. It'd be like what they see in like cartoons and crap. You just get punched in the face and your head just flies off. That would be me and Tyson Fury in the ring. Um, you
Yeah,
know, he actually did like a thing with WWE for a little bit.
no, I know he hasn't really boxed that long because he had a bunch of drug problems and shit like
Yeah,
that. But I didn't know he was
yeah,
in
he
the
did like
WWE.
it was like a quick program. It was like on his rise in boxing, and people. It was like the I want to say it was the second time I was introduced to Tyson Fury, but he had like this random feud where WWE's holding pay-per-views in Saudi Arabia just to try to get more money, and they had him come and fight a guy that was basically Um, obviously he's like 350 pounds, just this big jacked up dude. But the guy he wrestled used to be in the world strongman competitions, and they've wrestled, and it was
Oh,
weird.
well.
Tyson Fury tried to punch. He got body slammed a lot. It was weird.
And then what? McGregor and Mayweather are fighting again.
I honestly,
They signed the
cause
papers.
I think that's gonna be a good fight. It was actually not that bad of a fight the first time around. Like with those two, I actually
Yeah,
like it.
or McGregor ran
Yeah,
himself
I
out.
think
He went too
I
hard.
think Pacquiao and Mayweather was worse than McGregor and Mayweather.
Pacquiao was because what? He had a torn shoulder, and he was how damn old. I know he's still winning fights, but that's the reason Mayweather didn't fight him earlier because he know Pacquiao would have whooped his
Yeah,
ass. I think if they fought now, I think Pacquiao would kick his ass.
I
If Pacquiao is still somehow fighting, and he just what within the last 8 months just beat the undefeated
yeah,
champ. Like,
I agree.
and he's 40 something years old.
Yeah, he's a freaking beast. That's another person I would not like to see in an alley and him say, "Give me my money," and I'd be like, "No, here's $1. It's all I have, man." I don't know, like
I'd say at least for me, Mayweather's only like 5'5", so I could just like put my hand out and just hold him back. Hopefully,
he also did something with like you don't understand like how many crossovers they've done with wrestling and sports. It's so weird. They had Mayweather fight Big Show, which was really weird, and I don't I don't know. It's just weird. Now thinking about it, like because Floyd Mayweather was in WWE, they had him do a WrestleMania match with Big Show where he won by knocking out Big Show. I don't know how that happened because he's seven
yeah,
foot
okay.
and he's 5-0. I don't understand how that happened. And then Tyson Fury was another one. Cain Vasquez is another one. Like it's weird.
And who was the one that went to the UFC? CM Punk or something like that.
Yeah, that was rough.
He went to the UFC and got laid the fuck out.
Yeah, that was like I said. I'm leaving it as yeah, that was rough. Thing was, he wasn't that. He was
Who
actually like
was?
I want to say he was a black belt in Muay Thai. So like you would think he'd be okay, but he got so used to the WWE fake punching and
Yeah,
fake kicking, he didn't realize. Oh hey, I need to actually connect these now.
this hurts. Like,
And
ow, that shit hurts.
that's but Brock Lesnar is a freak athlete, like because he did UFC for a
And
bit.
he should have went undefeated in UFC, and he wasn't that good. His first couple years he was, and then he just completely fell off and got his ass kicked every
He
time.
ended up. I remember he retired from UFC for a while because he had some ruptured. I want to say it was something wrong with his like large intestine,
I Yeah, I remember a big
and that's
medical
why he went
issue.
back to WWE originally. And ever since then, they just put him part time. And oh, you want a belt? Here you go. Merry Christmas. Like it's it's not even,
Yeah,
it's not fun watching wrestling on the main roster anymore. Like at all. I don't watch like I don't even watch main roster stuff anymore. Me and Amber watch NXT and that's it. But and I know
uh,
you're not a wrestling fan.
and wrestling I've never really gotten into it.
It the '90s was like the best time for it, and then it just after that it was just meh. It's like oh that's cool.
Well, hell, Vince McMahon could build up the XFL like he did WWE. We'll be good for football.
We might see a new like just the XFL actually surpass the NFL, which would actually be so cool. But at the same time,
It very well could happen with how many people are against the NFL and everything with all the kneeling shit and the
oh
rule changes and they
god,
drop
I
in
hate it.
attendance.
God, the kneeling shit. It's America, damn it. Enjoy your flag. Like
Yeah, there's tons of places to do shit. That's not it.
no. It's really not, and it just makes people angry, and then people don't want to see it, so they go and
Yeah,
hurt and change the
all you're
channel.
doing is hurting your fan base.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I remember for a while that was like the big thing, and like college players were doing it, and their coaches were like, "Look, get up or you're not playing." Like that simple. I don't care.
Yeah. Oh, hell, Jerry Jones for the Cowboys said, "If you kneel on my team, you're done."
Yeah, he was the one NFL like.
And sure as shit, nobody ever nailed it again.
Yep. Freaking Colin Kaepernick and his dumbass fro.
Uh, and I could see if it was if it was like Russell Wilson that never got a job again over it. Okay, I could see some collusion. Colin Kaepernick was fucking trash. Like he was not a good quarterback.
He had one good year.
And then he goes. The XFL says, yeah. And then he goes to the XFL, and they're like, "Oh, here's the contract." And he's like, "Oh no, I want at least 20 million a year." And they laughed him out of the office. Like, you're not worth it. If you really want to go back and show you're good at football, go to the Canadian League. Go do something. Take the contract they're going to give you. Play like you think you can, and you'll be back in the NFL. But no, you would rather just keep being a dick.
Like,
And I know he has done good things for his community and stuff like that, but he always does it. Like the Super Bowl, he made it known that he was in New York giving back to homeless people and stuff like that. Like, no, don't do it on that day. Go just do it on a random day and don't tell people about it. What?
you don't need to
I
tell
don't get it.
everyone about what's going on. Just basically,
Yeah.
I don't know. It just Colin Kaepernick's one of those people. It's just you were good in college, you had a good couple years in the NFL, you flopped, so you were benched. So you're gonna kneel to make yourself try to get attention, and
Yeah.
then that's what started the whole thing anyway.
And I think that's what a lot of people miss is he was benched before he started kneeling.
But
The hell was that look?
I was waving to Amber. She's over here.
Oh.
But yeah, I just get angry about certain topics, and Colin Kaepernick is just that guy. Oh, he's just that guy. That's like I'm trying to think of someone else that's like that, like NBA wise, like J.R. Smith. I like J.R. Smith, but he's not as good as he thinks he is, and he runs his mouth a lot.
Yo, he hasn't said anything this past year. He was trying out for the Lakers the other day and he didn't get picked, but I haven't heard anything
It's
out of
been a
him
while, but I mean, like,
for I last thing I heard about him was he threw soup at one of their coaches. Like, yeah.
was it chunky soup? Or was it like, like?
I just remember because thing on my Facebook came up the other day of like the memories, and it was a scene where Uncle Rico from Napoleon Dynamite threw the football, and Napoleon Dynamite on the right when he was riding the bike, but it was J.R. Smith's face with a bowl of soup and just throw it at him.
That's funny. Okay, no, that was a terrible example. I want to say Draymond Green. Draymond Green does not shut his mouth.
It's ass.
He does not shut his mouth.
And he just today he just wanted Charles Barkley saying, "Oh, no rings, you can't talk to me." Like the only reason you have rings is because you play with Steph, Clay, and KD. If you weren't on that team, you would be a bench player. You should be a bench player, Mr. Triple Single.
Yeah, Mr. Triple Single. Never heard that term, but I like it.
That's what he is without all stars on his team. Like he's made it very clear he's not one to carry, and Steve Kerr is not a good coach.
No, he just built a team of all stars and says go play basically.
Mark Davis was the one that, or not Mark Davis. Mark, I can't say his last name, but they fired him like the year before everything started up. But Steve Kerr's first year was when they took off.
Yeah.
But the coach before Mark, I can't think of his last name. But he's the one that took off and built that team. He's the one that drafted Steph, Clay, all them.
Did you see that Tim Duncan won his first game coaching? I thought that was kind of cool.
With that crazy ass hair.
Yeah, dude, he's just like.
I was like, wait, I was looking for like 5 minutes. I'm like, okay, they're talking about Tim Duncan, but I'm like, who is this guy? Oh my god, that is him.
He looks so.
And you've never seen him with hair. Yeah.
He looks so old in that hairstyle, man. I don't know what is up with that. It looked like freaking tentacles were about to come out of his head or something. It was weird. It was
I've
so
seen a lot of people
irritating.
mad that Popovich didn't have Becky Hammon coach that game because she should have won her first game. But I kind of like that he gave it to Tim Duncan because I think she actually has a career in coaching in the NBA, and it's kind of like a political stunt to throw her out there. So I'm glad they gave it to Tim Duncan.
I and Tim Duncan wasn't. He's not a. I think later down the line, he could be like a. I don't want to say like a Jason Kidd because Jason Kidd was okay, but not great.
Yeah,
He was a better player than a coach, but yet again, he wasn't that bad of a coach either. But like, I would like to see Tim Duncan eventually take over the Spurs and have that girl actually go and coach another team down the line. In my opinion, that's just me.
or if hell, he might even grow into like a leadership role, become because I believe Pop is the GM and head coach. So even if Duncan were to take over GM and then put Becky Hammon as a head coach, I think that could be really good for them.
Yeah, because I mean,
Because
it's just full
Popovich, this is
circle.
gonna be their yeah. I think this is their first time in about 20 years that they're not gonna make the playoffs if they stay where they're at now.
Yeah.
I think I think the game has passed Popovich by. He still tries to play old school ball, and it just doesn't work anymore.
No, it doesn't. Especially when you have like talents that like the Pelicans with like Zion Williams and like LeBron and the Lakers and all those that other
Yeah,
stack team, Clippers with Kawhi Leonard and stuff like that. Just I don't
yeah. I
know.
mean, they have what DeMar DeRozan and
Rudy Gay,
Lamar.
and they got Rudy Gay,
Is
I think
Rudy
too.
Gay still in the league?
I,
That
last
dude's
time I
like
checked,
67 years old.
I'm gonna check now. I thought I saw him in a jersey in a Spurs jersey when they showed the clip. Rudy Gay. He's gay.
Yeah. Oh shit. Oh,
He
he's
looks
lying.
like he's like 42.
Well, I got something about Greg Oden. He graduated high school or college at damn near 70 years old.
Yeah. Greg Oden, I think he was like 19, but he looked like he was like 45.
Yeah.
That dude was.
I saw a picture of him the other day, and he looks younger now than he did when he
I
graduated
don't
college.
understand how that
He got some
works.
Benjamin Button shit going on.
Just, I don't understand how that works. That makes no sense to me. It's just, God. He. I remember watching it, like, him as a kid, like Greg Oden as a kid, and watching him play in the March Madness, and I was like, who's the old man on the court? Like, and he was like 19,
Yeah.
and I'm like 13. I'm like, what?
Is that what I'm gonna
I
look
hope
like?
not.
He was like the guy from Benchwarmers with the birth certificate. I am 12.
Oh my god. I am 12. Here's a $20 bill for you. Like, sitting there with this tequila throwing curveballs and shit.
We got the combine, or we can do that like Sunday or something.
The what?
The NFL
Oh,
combine.
the combine. I thought you said conga line. I was like,
Yeah.
what are you talking about? I was like, what are you
Oh,
talking
we get
about?
weird.
I was
Yeah,
like,
so we
what?
could do that Monday, and then we'd have our scores except for the last XFL game.
Yeah, we could go over that. That would work too. That would definitely work for the next episode. So
Oh yeah.
until the next episode, it's been your boy G White 14 and Mister,
Our grade too.
and we will catch you next week. You guys have a good night.
Later, guys.